Hey everyone, welcome to Genie Rocket Radio. This is your host, Brad Parnell. I'm super excited to have a special guest on the show today that has done some amazing stuff in the financial world and the business world. Is an entrepreneur, he's a speaker, he's an author, he's done a lot. So guys, I'd like to introduce you here to Chad Free with Black Diamond Money Moves. Welcome to the show, Chad.
Thank you, Brad. I am pumped up to be here, man.
Yeah, we've had so much fun interaction together, and we've put off doing this for a while, and it's about time. Glad we're here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
We're going to rock it right into 2022, right?
That's right, man. I don't know about you. I've had kind of a challenging first of the year start with just COVID and a bunch of stuff happening, and I'm just reminded too that comfort is the enemy of progress. So I'm just saying, hey, I must be progressing really well at the beginning of this year. I'm way out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Definitely know the feeling. We just got to keep at it, keep pushing to be our best self.
That's right. Well, man, for all of our listeners here, I've been so inspired by Chad. I think we've been blessed to be kind of a part of some similar groups and in each other's worlds. And I think we both feed off each other. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear just some of his story and get to know him. So Chad, why don't you just kind of introduce yourself to the people here, tell them what you do and what problems you solve.
Cool. Well, my name's Chad Free, and I believe that we're all created on purpose, for a purpose. And I really feel like everybody has a next step in their life. And even the best can become better. So I always just look for the best in people, and sometimes they don't realize it because they get in that rat race of just doing busy work and doing the daily distraction of the daily mundane routines. And I think my purpose here is to help people discover what their purpose is and kind of wake up and help them start pursuing that. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. But I'm in South Carolina. I'm married, been married for 17 years, have two amazing boys, and they keep us busy. They keep us hopping. But there's nothing like it. I'm truly a blessed guy.
That's incredible. Now, I know right now you're in the kind of world of Black Diamond Money Moves. I'm sure people that might be watching this on video can see that title underneath your name and being like, what in the world is that? And what does that mean? And, I've had the privilege of working with you guys closely on some of that brand. So what is Black Diamond Money Moves? How did you come up with that name? What does it mean?
We got the black diamond from like your ski slopes. Usually the black diamond is the most advanced ski slope. It takes a lot of skills to be able to even attempt that type of slope. There's even one above that called the double black diamond. But from studying and working with the ultra wealthy for close to 20 years, I kind of asked questions. My curiosity and my mindset, just wanting to know, what'd you do? How'd you get here? It always piqued my curiosity for me to take that next step. And just through all of my experience working with them and then putting plans together for them and designing those, because I work with advisors from across the country and I helped them design plans for their, ultra high net worth clients. A lot of this stuff is available more mainstream, okay? But people don't know about it. And so what we're wanting to do is we think everybody deserves a chance at the black diamond. It shouldn't be just reserved for those who, run in that circle, if you will. They need to be educated, empowered, and then have somebody to come alongside of them to execute those strategies. It's all about financial literacy. And so that's kind of what we do. We just educate people using money moves to combat debt, taxes, and, starting with mindset. To get them the confidence that they can play in those arenas with the Black Diamond Money Moves.
Love it. So many good questions to ask here. I want to go back to mindset. I know you're extremely passionate about mindset, and I've been really enlightened just this past year of how much that triggers everything from health to finances to family to business, like how it all comes to mindset. What percentage do you believe of mindset really does impact people's wealth?
Well, we work with two different kinds of people that have money and the people that want money. Most of the people that have money have the mindset. The people that want money, that's our starting block. Let's see where they are in their mind. And, we work with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of sales leaders, and they have that ambition, but there's just something missing. And the mindset, when you find your purpose and you're able to step into the purpose, you can get knocked down as many times over and over and over again, but you get right back up because you got your eyes set on the purpose that you're doing this whole life for. It just makes it easier. So the resilience is always there, which fuels the persistency. And that's what makes, you very prosperous and profitable.
So
It's very important.
I heard you mention resilience and consistency. So are those two character traits you see in a lot of the ultra wealthy mindset?
Absolutely. Yeah, they're they're psychologically unstoppable,
Yeah.
really. There's nobody going to get in their way. They've they've got a predetermined path that they're going down, and they've got that goal. And just like some of our coaches and mentors say, you're at your A, but you're going to get to your B, and they're going to get to their B no matter what it takes. They're going to find out, but they're going to confront their reality and their responsibility and make it happen.
Yeah, the freight train. I love it. Now, do you find some more of those like other similar characteristics? I wonder just for our listeners listening, if they're trying to think, man, I'm curious of what are some of those strategies of the ultra wealthy, and what's the mindset of the ultra wealthy? Are there any other insights, any things that you can share that you've seen that help people, or what kind of mindset that they have, other than those two characters you mentioned, to help them start thinking like the ultra wealthy do?
Yeah, let's break the ice on that just a little bit. I like to ask a question. It's all about the status quo.
Hmm.
It's getting you to think outside the box. So Brad, I think I've asked you this before. How many seconds are in a year?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to get out my
Yeah,
calculator.
that's right. Yeah, right. So that's the number one thing we're going to do. We're going to get the calculator out. We're going to start doing the math. But if I told you there's 12 seconds in a year, at first you're going to look at me like, what?
Yeah,
But January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd, right?
you
So
got me.
our minds are programmed, all right? And that's what the ultra wealthy do. They think outside of the box. Another little one is how many days of the week start with the letter T? Everybody says two. What are they? Tuesday and Thursday. Well, what about today and tomorrow? It's
Mm.
it's all about how you're thinking about things. It's that plus one mentality that Coach Burt talks about. Just think outside of the box. Take that extra step. And yeah, it's just the way they think. You know,
Yeah,
it, that's
that's
it. It's their mindset.
that's good. It's almost too. And I think Coach Burt said this as well, but it's the seeing the picture in the frame. It's trying to see outside the frame, and sometimes it's so hard just to get stuck, or easy to get stuck in that day to day. Or seeing the forest for the trees. There's lots of expressions there, but um,
Yes,
just trying to
that's
find a
it.
different perspective that we're not naturally trained to do, or it doesn't come as second nature to all of us.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. One other thing that I'll add is, you know, a lot of these folks have somebody pouring into their life or mentoring them. Um, Being coached or mentored doesn't mean that, you know, you're some kind of, I'm not good enough, right? We've heard that over and over again. Being a coach or having a coach means that you're trying to be the best version of yourself. So, exactly what you said, you can't see the picture sometimes because you're inside the frame. I also like to talk about Tiger Woods. His coach, more than likely, he can't. outplay Tiger Woods on the golf course, right? But he can see something maybe that can cause Tiger to make just a small adjustment and up his game that much more. So I think a lot of times people need to be humbled.
Hmm.
They need to put their ego aside and open themselves up. How can I be better? What do you see?
Yeah.
Kind of deal. So I think that's very important. Be coachable.
Man, that's a great tip. And for listeners out there too, I think that's something that we all have to always remind ourselves of, because we don't tend to gravitate towards order. We gravitate towards chaos by our natural state. So we have to come up with those systems of what am I going to do every day and be disciplined in the uncomfortable things like that. How am I going to read the right books, listen to the right podcasts, ask for help for the right people, and knowing that's making you stronger. It's not making you weaker. And I think our world sometimes tells us just that of, hey, when you ask for help, you're kind of showing your weak hands. But I've always found, I mean, it helps everything. It builds relationships, it builds trust, it keeps you humble, and it just helps you make better decisions where it's not just that the isolation of you by yourself trying to make what feels like the best decision at the time.
Absolutely. That's right.
So, Chad, tell us a little bit how you got started in the financial service world. Have you always been in money managing and financial services, or did you just trip into a career one day to be where you're at right now?
I tripped into it. That's exactly right. I as I had mentioned, I'd worked with some very affluent clients. They had some very nice second and third homes in a community near where I live, and we were sort of the concierge type service for them. I would be the point of contact when maybe they just wanted their house to be walked through, make sure everything's good to go. If they needed groceries there before they came up, I was that guy. So they wanted somebody that they could trust. And, if there was work that needed to be done, a lot of people are out there ready to take advantage of folks just because they have money. So that was one of the biggest things. Just because that worker or contractor would drive into that exclusive community, a lot of people had the mindset, well, I'll be able just to kill this job, make a lot. Well, I was there to keep everybody honest. I've got that protective instinct about me. I'm really big on taking up for people that can't really, you know, be taken advantage of, right? So that's one thing that my dad always taught me. But that was always tied to the housing market. Everything I'd done was somewhat related to the housing market. So back in 2008, 9, you know what happened. Um, I was tired of riding that roller coaster, and I wanted to just completely separate myself from that. And talking with a lot of these clients that I had, they were somewhat involved in financial services, or they had their hand in that game. So I got into it, and man, you talking about trying all these different avenues within this service. I did it, man. I was the most unfocused person ever trying to figure my way out, And but then I just, from experiences, good and bad, kind of created our own deal, and here we are.
Through all of those steps that you took, Chad, what would you say? What's something that you were really one of the most proud of through all those accomplishments that you had? What's something that kind of you remember and reflect on to say, man, that was a amazing accomplishment?
Um, if I can honestly tell you, I'm such a serial entrepreneur, right? And I am a go getter. Um, my biggest accomplishment is hanging in there and still standing. But today, learning how all the mistakes and those different avenues that I went down, taking the best memories and the best experiences and knowledge from each one of those,
Mhm.
that right there is what's helped me. to get to where I am today. And again, I guess you could say that I was chasing different plans to get to a status, and that's why it's so real to me. Now I'm operating from a purpose, and I'm focused, and I know what I'm trying to accomplish. And that's when it all started making sense. When I stepped into the purpose, that's when profit started coming this way.
Love it. Love it. And I think a lot of times we can get, sounds like so blind on trying to find profit that maybe we miss out on purpose. So the alignment of purpose and profit, I've got to imagine, has to feel amazing that you're making an impact and generating profit. There's got to be such great, just thriving feeling with that.
It's unexplainable, Brad. That's the thing that I'm most fired up about and pumped up about. I don't go to bed every night thinking, how am I gonna, survive, or how am I gonna get this bill paid, or what's my next move? What's it gonna come from? Or first thing waking up in the morning and that being on the forefront of your mind,
Mm.
because you're looking at all these different directions and none of them's working out. And then all of a sudden it's called being fulfilled. And I have not had this feeling since I probably was a child, of just pure bliss. I'm not working. I'm truly, I know what I'm doing. I know what my purpose is now. And you can't put a value on that. You cannot put a value on that. And I want other entrepreneurs and other leaders and other ambitious people to just get that right. And if I can assist them in finding that, that's my reward. That's where I get the most joy, is helping people see that.
Wow, that's so big, and I mean that transcends any of the service based work that you do or the solutions that you solve. Right? It's helping people align in their purpose, and finding that profit is incredible. So a little bit off track here, but I'm curious, based on the Black Diamond Money moves being kind of ski related, what's your favorite ski resort? Where do you like to go?
It's kind of crazy. So that leads me into something else. My dad, he's always been just, the guy I looked up to. He's always been my hero, right? And he, I haven't done any big time skiing, any real skiing that some of the folks would say. I'm out in the Carolinas, right? So I've been to Ski Beach and Sugar Mountain, and that's not even ski slopes compared to what a lot of people say. But when I first learned how to ski, I knew that there was those different levels. But hearing my dad, once he saw me kind of get it down and understand, he used to chant, Ski King, look at him go. There's the Ski King."
I love it.
So just that encouragement, and I'm like, man, that's awesome. So anyway, I always knew that there was that next step. And I have to be honest with you, I'm not a Black Diamond skier. Okay. I'm not cut out for that, but that's where I'm at. I'm skiing in the Carolinas
I
in the
love
fake
it.
snow, as some say it.
Yeah, well, but you are able to help people make their money moves, like navigating the Black Diamond. That's where you're the that's where you're the expert. That's awesome.
That's right. That's right. That's where I've got some experience there for sure.
Yeah. So Chad, as a successful entrepreneur and leader and family guy, what are some of the daily habits or disciplines that you do that you find keep yourself sharp and keep yourself excited and motivated every day?
Okay, good. I'm glad you asked that. That's something that I feel like attributed a lot to my success and finding my purpose, if you will. Um, I heard a lot of people say, our brain is the CEO, right? of our body. It tells us what to do and what actions to take. And I've got a guy that I work with. He's one of our leaders. He kind of broke that down and made a lot of sense. Um, I actually get up in the morning, and the first thing I do is I'm drinking coffee, and I get in the Word. I get in the Bible. Okay. For a long time, I would just read a devotion, and it was almost like routine. Check that off for the day.
Mm.
But whether I read one verse or one chapter, I want that being the first thing that goes in my mind, because that's been the biggest life changing, um, I guess, thing that's happened to me is transformation, right? So if I get on social media, or if I'm looking at emails first, then it's hard for me to focus, when I'm reading my Bible. So I start the day off reading the Word, because I think it needs to come from the heart, and let my heart dictate what my brain is telling my body to do, and my behaviors. So once I do that, I'll read the Bible. I'll spend a little time there, and then I'll listen to an audible book just for a short period of time, maybe 15 minutes. I'll work out, and then off I go. So again, when you're operating from that purpose, that comes from your heart. So I have to guard that. I don't want hearing all the media and all the bad news and reading all that stuff getting in my mind. I want that to be clear, and then I want my heart to be what's telling my mind what to do. That's in charge, not everything that's going on around me. So that's kind of how I start my day.
How long have you been doing that routine?
Um, I've taken next steps to get where it's at. Like I said, I'm big on next steps. So during COVID, actually, I just started um, developing that habit. And I've been a Christian for a long time. I really have. And I could talk the talk and everything, and tell you how important that my Christianity was and my faith was. But if I'm being transparent with you, I really wasn't digging in like I should. And, you know, through that, just developing those mini habits, if you will, through COVID, that made me got me in a routine to where now I can't start my day without it. And, but I started out with devotions. Devotions are great. Don't get me wrong. Um, it's a great place to start. But I wasn't reading, I was reading what somebody else's comprehension was to the Bible. And as you can tell, I'm living an integrated life. I can't separate my profession and my faith. It's together, baby. That's what it's all about with me, you know? And that's why I'm sitting here. I can't sit still sometimes. But that's it. That's kind of where we're at.
That's great. And you find having those healthy habits and healthy routines, that discipline in your life, has that created more freedom for you and more purpose when you start your day?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think just getting zoned in and focused in that manner. Um, I, I was a guy that I had a very flexible schedule, being an entrepreneur. While we work hard and we work a lot, we're always tied to our phone, but I was always around with my family.
Mm.
Okay. So I was there, I was present physically, but if I'm honest with you, a lot of times, my kids would want me to be doing something, and I never would shun them away. We would always do something, but I didn't absorb that moment. I
Mm.
wasn't honestly being present and just eating that up, just taking it in like I do now. And I really think that's helped me. It really, really has. So you can be there physically, but you can be the farthest away from your family if you're not there present in your mind and in your heart.
So good. So when you listen to Audible books, what book or books are you listening to right now?
I actually just wrapped up $100 Million Offers by Alex Harmozy, and I got the Audible, but I ended up going ahead and ordering the hard copy of it because I want to listen to it again and go through it and kind of highlight, some of the areas that I feel like would be beneficial to me and our business here at Black Diamond Money Moves.
So, man, thanks for sharing that, Chad. And I think that is such a great testimony to how the small things, the small habits in our life that might seem really small are actually the things that make the biggest impact over time. And I think as a lot of, the listeners here and myself included, as entrepreneurs, we want it big and we want it fast and we want to see results. And the truth is, to get there, we have to almost slow down in order to speed up and really think about, what am I feeding my brain and what are my daily habits that might seem insignificant, but truly those are the things that bring the biggest change. And then you look back a year from now and you add up all those small little percentage changes over time that end up putting us on a completely different path. But it would have never been I'm moving from path A to path B, boom, done, let's go. it's the the slow change that none of us want to go through that process, but that's the right way to do it from what I've heard and what I've experienced.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I usually say a lot of people want that Pop-Tart instant gratification, but God's got this crock pot blessing over here for us if we'll just slow down and go through the process, That's it.
Man, I love that. I don't know about you, but my life has always seemed like I'm fast forwarding through it, and it feels weird to slow down. Even when I was, on vacation with my family last week, and even, my wife and daughter have COVID right now, and I'm trying to take care of them and take my son to school. But anytime I have to slow down or be patient or have, meaningful, long conversations, it's not natural to me. And that's something that I'm not proud of, but I've realized that's who I've become. If I've trained myself to like go, 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 and never pause and reflect and take in those moments, and probably missed out on a lot of great things because of that wrong mindset.
Right, right. Well, it's all about experiences. We always fail sometimes, but we fail forward as entrepreneurs. That's where the success comes. Just learn from that and take it in, and it all works out. It really does.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, this might be kind of a little bit of a cliche question, but I still want to ask it anyway because I really like it. But going through kind of where you're at now, like you've gone through some career change, some life change, some epiphany moments, all these things. If you were to go back to yourself, let's say your 20-year-old self, and give yourself a piece of advice, what do you think you would tell yourself based on what you know now?
I would pursue my purpose first. Now, let me break that down a little bit. I'm going to kind of pull the curtain back, if you will. You heard me mention earlier that my dad was he's my hero, and he always has been. So a lot of my decisions was based off of what I thought would make him proud, and all the while he was proud of me. Period. My mom was the one that gave me all of that attention and encouraged me, but I wanted, can I get a little bit of that from you, Dad? And he wasn't that person, but he showed me with his actions what hard work looked like. He showed me what hustling looked like. That's where I got the entrepreneur side. And he always told me, don't you ever take advantage of anybody. If that's just wrong. That kind of really was ingrained in me. And celebrate others' successes. Be happy for them. Don't be jealous. Where I was in my own, didn't have the mindset, was I was pursuing all these plans, honestly, to achieve the status that my dad did at different ages. He retired late 40s. He had, house paid for, I want to say 35 years old. Hey, I'm hitting the panic button. I'm running behind. So I was constantly looking for that extra, where's it at? And let me tell you, I was successful in a lot of my ventures. But again, I wasn't fulfilled. And the last opportunity that I had was one that I could only have dreamed of. So I thought. I never was set up in a better position for success. This is it. This is what I've been working for. And I was climbing that ladder and I was absolutely miserable. I was just miserable. I started to change. Chad, Free, they call, I'm always smiling. Hey, I'm just a happy guy. But that started to change and people started to notice it. And I've heard a few people say this, actually, a pastor out in Houston, you can climb that ladder of success, but you can get to the top and be completely miserable. That means that ladder was against the wrong building. It was against the wrong building.
Mm.
And that's where I made a mistake. So I've got it up against the building that I was created for. Because here's what I know. We're all created on purpose for a purpose. You hear me say that all the time. And there's nobody out there that is in competition with you and the reason you're here, because you're given your own unique ability. And that's what I've realized. I finally opened that birthday gift up. I want to pour into people's lives. And it just so happens that I've got experience in the financial industry that can accelerate you to your financial goals. But I want to speak. I want to mentor. I want to coach. I want to educate. I want to show people that, hey, there is hope. Hey, you are special. You have greatness inside of you. Now let's get it going. Because you know what, Brad? And I know I talk a lot. I told you, I warned you, I get excited. If we don't become our best version of ourselves, we're robbing the world of our talents that we were created for. So that's it.
That's good. So what would you say to people on here that are shaking their heads? And I mean, that was so powerful. I was writing down some notes here, but I think what you stand for is the all created on purpose for a purpose. Let's say there's entrepreneur or business owner on here that might be realizing, I'm halfway up the stairs, I'm climbing the ladder, and I think it might be the wrong building. What advice would you have for that person? How to start over? Let's say they're mid-career, they're realizing that they're on the wrong building. What advice would you have for them?
It takes a lot of faith. You've got to have a lot of faith. You've got to confront your reality where you are. And, your heart steers you in the right direction. If you're truly reflecting and seeing if you're being fulfilled, if this is something that you enjoy doing, then maybe it's to make you better. All right. But if it's something that you can't make it work, you can't get that satisfying feeling, I think you need to step back. And is it going to be better? Could it be better? Look at who you're working with. What's the potential? How can you be you? How can you truly take your talent and display it in that current position that you're in and distribute it to make that business better? You really got to have a hard conversation with yourself and see if that's where you're supposed to be.
Wow. Yeah, that's great insight and advice. And I think the important thing here too is knowing that it's a worthwhile journey, right? It's going to be hard. It's going to take that faith that Chad mentioned, But it sounds like, if you realize you're halfway up the stairs or all the way up the stairs and you had your ladder against the wrong building, which is such a neat analogy. I love that it is worth the temporary pain to make sure that you find the right building and that you're climbing up that right ladder to get to that point, to have that alignment of purpose and profit, to get to that state of almost like, Chad, where you're at right now. Like, you feel like you are aligned on those two things. You've been able to pursue your purpose. You've had success in that. Now you can speak to others and help them, inspire and motivate them to make sure their ladder's on the on the right building.
That's right. That's exactly right. When you get your alignment right, and for me, that's with God, and really asking and seeking, what He wanted me to do. It was there the entire time. That desire was there. That was the natural that He gave me. He just wanted to put His super on my natural. And I was too busy trying to figure out how that would work. I wanted to see what was on the other side of that door before I said yes. But He just wanted me to say yes to Him, and then He would work it all out. And, there's pain in the process. And when I tell you there's pain in the process, I'm the financial guy. I wrote a book, Wake Up Your Retirement. And to be humbled because now your finances have been flipped upside down. But my faith fueled me through the process of the pain, because I knew there was the promise on the other side. And that trust, that stone cold focus is what got me to where I am today. And there's no price tag you can put on that. Period. None.
Man, that is so good. I love when you talk, Chad, about like pushing into the pain for that piece on the other side and staying focused. And it reminds me of the story of the animal of the bison. Do you know how they interact with storms? Have you heard that story?
No, I haven't.
So the bison is the only animal that will walk into a storm when all the other animals run away from it. So if they're on the plains and they see a storm coming, they will get in a group and they will walk into the storm and through the storm, because they know that there's peace on the other side that's faster than waiting it out. And
wow,
it's a cool icon. There's a couple brands that have the bison as their logo, and it's such a cool, just other than humans, seeing like an animal that does the same thing. And it's like, if we press into that pain and press into the storm, there's going to be peace on the other side, as opposed just to running away from it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, it was, that was the hardest times of my life, but I had to go through that. I really did. I had to get my heart broken, I guess you will, for something new to be put inside. And that disruption had to happen. And I call it divine disruption. It really was. Because, hey, I'm following Him now, and He's not opening windows for me. He's opening garage doors. It's broke my brain, man. I'm telling you, it's not blowing my mind. It's broke my brain. And I'm saying yes. That's all I can say is I'm saying yes.
I love it. That's so good. Well, as a man of faith and Christ follower too, I definitely agree with all those things. And I think it's so important to have that foundation. And man, when everything goes sideways, because the truth is it will at some point, even when you think you're doing great, like financials will go sideways, relationships go sideways. There's always things that you can complain about and things that will be broken, because the truth is we live in a broken world, and having the foundation that's not broken that you can count on gives us that hope. So when everything else goes sideways, we don't also go sideways. We've got that hope to count on.
That's right.
So it's been awesome to hear, Chad, I appreciate your vulnerability and your honesty. And me and Chad have gotten to spend some time in person together, and built a great friendship, and looking forward to continued friendship together, and proud to call you a friend. So thanks for being on the show and spending time with us here. And I'd love for you maybe to share with, people that want to connect with you deeper, Chad, either learning more about Black Diamond Money Moves, maybe they need help preparing for their financial future, or they just want to connect with you on a deeper level, how can they do that?
Probably the best way is just go on Facebook and look us up, Black Diamond Money Moves. I plan on sharing a lot of content there, some videos, and just share my heart like this. I'm like I said, I'm going to be doing both, and I think that's what it's all about: is connecting with community and having just that culture that's inviting and no judgment on our end. Hey, we want to help everybody. Period. Point blank. And we hope that our people feel that, because if you're willing to take the next step, and even as Coach Burt says, if you commit, we won't let you fail. And that's what we want to do for people. So Black Diamond Money Moves on Facebook, or you can go to our website, and that's blackdiamondmoneymoves.com. That would be the best place just to follow along.
That's so good. Well, everyone listening here, I hope you appreciate Chad's time and some of the tips and insights that he gave. Having an awesome morning routine to get his coffee, read his Bible, listen to Audible, and work out. And I challenge you too to, write down your routine. This is a great time, beginning of the year, to start. If you don't already have a routine, just think of 2 or 3 things that you can do consistently every morning, and over time, those will become healthy habits and get you to the next level. But Chad, thank you for spending time here with us. Guys, we will all catch you next time on Genie Rocket Radio, and thanks for listening. Bye now.